Hello, and welcome back into Chapter 2 of the Flight of the Northwest, our intrepid crew underneath the harsh but rewarding stewardship of Captain Grawl set sail through wild space into the astral sea in search of a set, fast, and safe route to Kryn space. At nearly a month and a half cruising through wild space, they've had a very difficult time. A crate that had been infested with a bunch of bugs exploded, the ship catching fire adrift for a number of weeks, crashing into an asteroid, finding a derelict, destroyed pirate ship, being able to salvage some from that, but then at the last moment seeing a strange nebula that they thought was off in the distance coalesce and solidify into a gargantuan creature, which, out of anger, hunger, curiosity, who knows, attacked the ship, during which the captain of the Northwest was killed, which is pretty much where we bring ourselves right back into. So we find ourselves really thrown into the heat of things. The giant Leviathan, the Nebula whale, this huge whale-like creature made up of solidified nebula, has just attacked the ship and has floated past it, but you can see that it is starting to turn to make another pass. It bellowed this horrible song, which did quite a bit of damage to everybody before chomping down and seemingly killing our captain before she disappeared, only to, what the crew doesn't know, is reappear in the demi-planar dungeon that acts as the creature's stomach. So we should start off with a roll for initiative.
Okay.
Here we go.
This old business again. To quote Grand Theft Auto. Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Nice.
Right. Oh my gosh. There we are. Sorry. I've been on... Oh my god. Oh, I didn't select my token. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, if you select your token before you roll, it will automatically put you in. But I can do it.
I can't see my token.
Yeah,
No,
we don't have access to our tokens right now.
You don't have tokens. Oh no, I'm putting them in myself. Don't
Well,
worry.
then it wasn't my fault.
It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault at all.
I apologize for nothing.
I find it entertaining that the two people who have the lowest initiative scores far and away got the highest initiative rolls.
Well, you see, that's because the people with the highest initiative, right, know that we don't want to be anywhere near what's happening right now.
Yeah,
And we're
I'm
just
good.
winning the
I'm
initiative
good.
of getting the hell away.
I'm good, and we're still on the HP, even though we're level 4. We're still on the HP.
That's
before.
right. Yeah,
Right?
so we're on the same HP, but yes,
So
for
I'm still
everybody, just
screwed.
so you know, everyone did level up to level 4 in our break between the sessions. So, alrighty. The side of the ship is moderately damaged, nothing that would keep it from sailing whatsoever. The captain is gone. A number of the crew have panicked and run below deck, but there's still about a half a dozen or so people on deck waiting from orders, not really sure who those orders will be coming from. You have provisions, you have loot, and treasure and other things, some personal items that you discovered from the other ship. You have rescued someone who looked like they had been enslaved by these pirates from the other ship. And most importantly, you have a new spell jamming helm. However, the helm has not been installed. You are all aware, you've spent enough time on the ship to know that you will need to take apart the shards of the old destroyed, split in half wooden spell jamming helm. You'll need to take the time to take those apart to put this new spell jamming helm, which looks like it's made out of metal and stone and has this high back, and seems to just float above the dais without touching it. But you will need to connect those chains back to this new helm, as well as get it booted up, for lack of a better word, and have somebody sit to attune. Now, normally, of course, attuning would be something that takes like an hour to do. But with the spell jamming helm and with everybody here who is left, being Will and Lockjaw, although Ruin could, he hasn't really voiced this, Ruin could attune. You have spell slots, so you would be able to. But Lockridge and Lockjaw and Will, being so familiar with this, it will take you probably a turn to attune to this. But you know that you have to get it installed before you can do anything, if that's what you're choosing to do. At the top of this turn order, as the whale, who never seems to stop moving, the whale has clamped down, eaten the captain, and is drifting past, and you see it start to turn to make another broadside attack against the ship. Will, with a 21, is first in the initiative order.
How far away from the ship is the whale right now?
The whale's, about 60, 80, 100, something like that. It's pretty far away, but even that being said, its tail is still fairly close to it. Just to paint a picture, not only for everybody on ship, but for the audience as well. The Northwest is a large, small ship. It is a ship that is about 75 feet long from bow to stern, and it easily holds a crew of 25 people that can all move around and do what they want across 3 different decks. This whale looks to be the size of 2 or 3 Northwests. You have the idea that the whale could probably bite the front third of the ship off if it managed to grab it properly. So its head is, you would guess, maybe 100 feet away, but still the end of the tail is near you. This is truly a leviathan of a beast.
Okay.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So, Will, glancing around at the scattered crew and realizing that if no one actually starts telling them what to do, they might not do anything useful, starts shouting around, probably first actually, Ruin, we need to get that helm installed now, if you could be so kind. Anyone else, that thing starts coming back towards us, fire at it. Don't fire unless it starts aiming at us. We want to discourage it, not provoke it. And if part of it's within 60 feet, I'm going to throw a mind sliver at it just to hopefully set something up in case it's needed later.
Yeah, there's enough. There's enough of it to be targetable. If you want to give that a roll, sure.
It's a wisdom save that it needs to make, intelligence save DC 16.
Alrighty, let's pull that up.
I'm hoping it's big but not smart.
Gotcha. All right, just pulling up the whale itself.
What could go wrong? Fighting a
Yeah, right?
giant
I'm
whale.
sure.
I feel like there was a book about that. I don't know.
Fine. You said it's a wisdom save that it makes?
Intelligence.
An intelligence save that it makes. That might actually be good for you. All right. Come on now, let's load things up. Boy, my connection is being a little bit goofy. I am on, the edge of a hurricane right now, so.
Oh, legit?
My apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a storm from Ian that's going on, so.
Wow. No excuse.
Unfortunately. I know, it's all on me.
I'd love it if
You know
just
what?
in the background.
This
like,
isn't rolling.
everything's blowing
It is
around.
not a super intelligent creature. What's the DC on it?
16.
We're just gonna call that a fail. We'll say it fails. It would have
Right.
to make quite the roll to get that anyway. So
Well,
go
it
ahead
takes
and
1d6
roll it up.
damage. It takes 3 psychic damage.
did you roll
and,
ones on all three?
No, it's a cantrip.
Oh, okay.
No, this is not one of my big spells. This is just a cantrip, and it has minus 1d6 or 1d4 on its next saving throw.
Gotcha. Okay. There it is. And you said it takes how much?
3 damage.
Three damage. Ooh boy.
Yep.
Let's see how it feels about that.
Let's see if it notices.
Okay. Yeah, it takes its damage. It does not seem to like you know your spell worked. It doesn't seem to flinch or care.
Yeah, you better run.
So that's action.
Does the crew start manning weapons?
Yeah, you see people start to scatter to work to do stuff. Yes.
And then Will's going to move towards whatever side of the ship. If it were to swing back around towards us, whatever side of the ship it seems most likely it would end up coming towards.
Yeah, so it just sort of went through, hit, kept going, and is spinning back around, and it looks like it will be coming at you port side.
All right, so head port side then.
Alrighty, that takes us to Ruin.
I'm going to immediately make my way towards trying to take the old helm apart.
Absolutely. So to get there, there are 3 chains. You're going to have to get each one of those chains taken care of. So you can. Well, what do you do? How do you go about trying to take the old helm off and all of that kind of stuff?
It's a situation. If there's any way I can, just start to disassemble the main bulk of it to remove it, use my spanner.
Roll the strength check on that.
Okay, and I'm going to use my spanner a number of times per day equal to your intelligence modifier. You can use the lucky spanner to give you advantage or skill or ability checks, only in situations where the lucky spanner can be logically used. So,
Like that, absolutely, yeah. That is what this is designed for. Perfect.
and you said what kind of check?
Just strength, straight up strength.
Okay, strength with advantage. Which one? 2. 19.
That does it.
And well, I'll take the first.
Yeah. No, a 19 absolutely. You get the wrench in there and you turn it and you hear the wood splinter and the metal creak and groan, and you just sort of open up that link as it sort of magically sparks as it widens, and you're able to get a chunk of that old one off. So you have one of the 3 that are now taken care of.
Nice.
We'll call that your action.
Yeah.
Bonus action or any other movement?
Nope.
All right, sweet. Lockridge, that brings us to you.
It is a big whale.
It's hefty beast.
Alright. How long does it usually take to like install / fix a Spelljammer helm? Like, is this something that we can practically do amidst being attacked?
That's certainly not ideal, but you glance over, and I mean, you see Will sort of shouting out orders, and people are snapping to, and you see that Ruin goes over and just perfectly, film noir comic book trade paperback style, like pulls this spanner out, this wrench, and he twirls it and he shoves it in place and like has it working perfectly. So I mean, this is not ideal, but it is going surprisingly well so far. You in the turn where the thing is not there to try to bite at anybody.
All right. Lockridge is going to make his way around. So just to clarify, we've still got a massive gash on our port side of the vessel from when we crashed, but it's been somewhat patched up over the course of our repair sequences. Directly in
the port side where you crashed into the asteroid. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Between Lana's mending spells and the like wood and metal and stuff that you salvaged and ripped off the other ship, I mean, it's not pretty. It needs some paint, but the whole is structurally fine from where you guys crashed.
Okay. And how close are we to the wire mesh of the net with the that has
the closest like magical laser beam of that net is 10 feet off the bow.
Now this thing would likely just like fly straight through it, right? Like the size of this thing.
Well, because you've not seen, but you've heard of these traps before,
Yeah.
correct? I mean, these like the largest of these asteroids would probably be a big enough thing to make this whale avoid it or not want to hit into it. And this net is tethering 3 of them together. Tell you what, make an insight check.
All right, here we go. I've got my insight. I'm looking at you. That's a 10.
10 is not bad. 10's right in the middle. I mean, this net wouldn't like capture it, but you think that it would probably at least slow it down. The dolphins that you guys can like mentally hear seem to be in at least some amount of discomfort or pain because of the magical net that's there. Like, you think that this might be an avenue if you can find some way to use this net or lure the whale into it.
Alright. Okay, cool. With that, Lockridge says, alright, anyone whose arms aren't helping out with the helm, with me right now. Everything heavy and not bolted down needs to go straight off the ship as quickly as you can. And anyone who can hear me from below deck, and I'm stopping on the ground, you better be moving your ass. If I come down there and see any of you lounging around or hiding on the tables, I'll swear to God I'm going to put a hole so big in you, people are going to think it's another black hole.
Nice. Roll a persuasion check, but add your strength modifier instead of your charisma.
Ooh, I like that.
That is a 19.
Within seconds, there is a chain of folks that are handing up empty barrels, stools, extra stools from around the tables, and they're chucking them over like they're at it. Between your orders and Will's orders, most of the crew, which is lower than the 25 you started off with, everybody is now working.
Okay, so the idea that I have, just so that I can communicate it with, I imagine Will, because I think Will is most likely going to be jumping on the helm, just as an assumption, not as any particular reason as to why. He's going to say what we need to do is we need to do a clothespin maneuver. Right, we need to come alongside adjacent between the large net and the large creature. Alright. Then as it's coming at us, we need to drop straight down and then clothespin back up behind the net while it's charging.
Alright. Do you know much about this creature? What it lacks, what it doesn't like, what it fears, what hunts it?
It's a big dumb whale.
Do you see how big that thing is? Right now, the only thing that thing is afraid of is dying of old age. Okay? That's the only thing this thing's worried about. That is a walking catastrophe, or swimming catastrophe, in the middle of the astral sea. Okay? We are nothing but bugs. The only thing we can hope to do is the same thing that I do every time I walk into a cobweb. Right, I do this, right, but I stop. And in the time that the creature who goes into the net does this, we're getting the hell out of here with as little weight as possible.
Alright.
Right.
Alrighty.
No one's stupid enough to fight this, right?
That was a long conversation for 6 seconds, but I loved it. I love it, and I love the stomping and getting everybody in fat. So I actually, Michael, take inspiration for that.
Ooh,
that was truly an inspired moment. Very nice. All right, Lockridge, what you got?
I already had a turn. I don't need another one. I mean, I'll take another one if you give it to me, but
Lockridge is getting a second turn. Lockjaw. Okay, so I feel like my main concern is this whale.
That's fair.
Just to recap, Ruan is fixing the helm. Will is kind of acting captain right now, essentially rallying the troops, and will probably step into the helm.
I like how no one's told Will this.
Yeah. Well, he was just the first act. That's how it kind of do.
Right.
And Lockridge is currently, commanding the jettisoning all the crap to make the ship lighter so that we can move. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I really wish I had picked some more illusion-y spells right now. To try and lure this whale over.
It's an illusion, Michael.
Yeah. But alas, I'm much more hands-on. And I don't think hideous laughter is really going to affect a whale.
I mean, you could always try it. There are also the cannons, the dragon cannons that are along there. So you could always run to one of those to be helping to make that happen, to fire at, either to try to injure or dissuade or corral or what have you there.
Yeah. So currently, I'm sorry, I'm going to get some spatial I'm bad with spatial awareness. So, we're the ship, and is the whale like moving away from us? It is.
The whale is moving away from you because, like watching it, it looks like it's almost like a shark. Like it can't really stop moving.
Yeah.
So it swam past, attacked, and is now making its big arc to come back around. In game mechanic turns, it looks like essentially every other turn is it's so big it has to maneuver to be able to hit you again.
Yeah, because I kind of want to sting it almost to try and get
Sure.
it to.
I mean, you could probably. I mean, there's people that are there, so I would say if you get to one of the cannons, you can take an action to have to fire that. We'll say that one action has already happened to load it, thanks to some of the other crew.
Great.
They're just waiting to be told to fire or not, so you could take that over, or you could throw one of your spells at it. It's close enough that any spell you have that has, I would say, a 30-foot range, there's enough of it there for you to be able to target.
Yeah. Okay. What's the damage of the cannons?
Your cannons do. Where is it?
Most of my spells are mainly good for up close, so I think I'm just gonna shoot it. I think.
Yes. They do 3d8.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm
They
gonna.
do a little less than a normal ballista, but you can load them in 2 actions instead of 3.
Okay. All right, lads. I need you to be loading these things up, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna catch a beast that is twice the size of this ship and swallow you up in an instant. So all hands on deck. And I'm gonna like shove one guy aside and man one of the cannons myself.
Right.
Saying, "This is for the captain, you son of a bitch." And I would fire a cannon.
Alrighty. So make your ranged spell attack, and it's a +6.
Okay.
We don't have these as items built into.
Oh, okay.
the
So
VTT, unfortunately.
yeah. So if I just. Sorry, I'm just looking at my ranged spells.
Or not ranged spell attack, just your ranged attack.
Oh, okay. Don't know that I have any ranged attacks. I've got my normal attacks, which is my scimitar.
Which goes off of your strength, right? So
Yeah.
your ranged attack would be rolling off of your dex.
Okay. Should I just
So
make
roll
it
your dex?
dex? Yeah.
Yeah, roll
straight
dex and then add 6.
So that's 18.
So you fire, and the ballista, the big, it's like a crossbow bolt that's the size of your arm.
Yeah.
These massive things, and I mean, you see the bolt. I mean, just land dead on, stick perfectly in this thing's back, and it doesn't seem like you hit it, but it doesn't seem to have done any damage to it. It's thick. Its hide is both thick and solid and rigid, fleshy outer. But then there's also this weird, misty, non-solid quality to it. So you hit, but it doesn't seem to have done damage.
Has it changed path at all?
It's continuing its arc,
Okay.
which it's just about to finish.
All right. Might need something a bit stronger than that. You got any salt?
All right. Anything else from Lockjaw?
I guess I can. I might give a yell to Ruin.
Okay.
We're gonna need that helm up and running. So move like like a gnat just bit you in the ass, and I will give you some inspiration.
Inspiration, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so as that happens at the top of the next turn, the whale has completed its arc and its turn as it comes back into combat range with the ship. And first of all, let's see if it gets back legendary actions.
Oh, it goes first in the initiative order. Oh boy.
Wait, did I typed it wrong. What do we got? Okay, so it gets back legendary actions. As it closes, I need everyone to make a wisdom save. As it sings out another whale song.
Ooh. Ooh.
We're looking for 15s. Okay, so Ruin.
Are you okay, Ruin?
And Lockridge. There it is. Okay, so
nice.
the locks have the same roll.
Am I right?
Over it. Joke's on you. I shoot the blunderbuss all the time. I can barely hear myself think.
There you go. That must be what it is.
And I'm half drunk.
Lockjaw and Lockridge save, but Will and Ruin, you both, as this mournful whale song rings out, you are filled with an absolute sense of hopelessness and sorrow. For the next turn, your movement is halved, and you may only take reactions, not actions or bonus actions.
Well.
And so it sings this song as it coasts towards you, and then at the last moment sort of dives, and you feel, it doesn't seem like it's doing any damage, but you feel this thing's back spine rake across the keel of the ship as it dives below and passes, rocking the ship and sending people stumbling to not lose their balance. That will take us to Will. So you have half movement, and then you can take reactions, but not actions.
I guess, that changes everything I was planning on doing. Will take a look at this. Is there any kind of reflexive check I can make to find out, do I know anything about these kinds of creatures, what they normally eat, what if they have a preferred thing that they eat, or...
I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a creature that none of you have ever encountered or even heard of. This is a truly cosmic horror, the likes of which you've not even heard stories of.
All right. Well, in that case, I guess with just half movement, will try to move around to whatever side of the ship it looks like it's going to arc back towards.
So this will be the other side now. So this will be the starboard side. Yeah. Okay. Then that takes us to Ruin, who also half movement and reactions only.
just find a way to get myself over to the next chain.
Yeah, you can certainly get to it. And yeah, you sort of...
Somebody do something about something.
Yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
Yeah, actually, with seeing how little damage the harpoon did to the whale, Will's going to shout at the various crew members who are manning the harpoons. All right, forget that. Help with the helm.
Okay. Okay, noted. That takes us to Lockridge.
Alright. How far away is the large beastie?
Guess about 60 feet.
Oh, that's
Somewhere
far
around in
too
there.
close. I don't like that at all. That's very close. Alright, well, I'm going to have to try and violently shoot him in the eyeball.
Give it a go.
Okay. Yeah, you can go. He's pretty big. His essentially his tail is towards you, but it's a pretty big thing. You would guess that this thing's eyeball in and of itself is, probably the size of your average merchant's wagon. So you can give it a shot, as it were.
Alright, I'll give it a shot. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Oh, I don't know.
Alright, here we go. Alright. That is a 26 to hit him in the face.
26 barely hits.
Barely
But
hits!
it does. So you can roll damage.
Oh.
Oh, God.
It's very big.
Alright, well that is 13 points of damage, which I am then going to utilize my Astral Spark to turn into 15 points of damage. But because I used a violent attack, as I mentioned before, I'm going to spend some grit, of which I will spend... How much grit do I have? I've got... got 1 grit. Alright, I'm going to spend 1 grit.
Alright. Spend it.
And my violent shot then does another 2 points of damage.
So 17 total?
So 17 points of damage.
Alright.
Right, and then I'm going to use my action surge, and I'm going to try and shoot it again.
Do it.
Okay.
Because this thing is royally pissed me off.
It's not a lever action blunderbuss, but I like to imagine you do that fun throw out spin rifle thing.
Oh yeah, no, he's
I'm shotgun reload.
Oh yeah, I'm imagining he's got it down to like kind of those military kind of things. So he's actually got one hand with the gunpowder already in it, and as he fires it, he uses the momentum of it to pull that hand forward and lock it in, pull it in, and just pop the thing away, and then just get that second shot in. All right, here we go.
I like it. Let's see what you got.
Oh, that's a 14.
Yeah. I mean, it's big. It's not like you miss it, but
Right.
just the thickness of this thing's hide.
I'm going to burn my inspiration. Let's see if we do that.
Okay.
Oh, that's an 18.
Even with an 18, you hit, but the thickness of this thing's hide, its strange, outer worldly essence, it doesn't seem to have done any damage to it. It bellows when you shoot it in the eye, and you see the gaseous starlight of its eye dim for a moment before it flares red. But this second one, you just hit it in the side, and it doesn't seem to notice.
All right, I'm very brave. I want everyone to know this.
It's true, but everybody saw you piss off the giant whale that just ate your captain.
Yeah.
Lockjaw, that's...
Cool. Oh man. Okay, so do we have I'm sure this is a moot point. Can we fire at it? Just thinking if the cannons are only or the crossbows are only making some impact, having something that's gonna cause like more damage.
Make a nature check.
Okay. Great. I got no int on this.
And actually, on that note, if I do hit it with my blunderbuss, is it big enough to maybe also take damage from the explosiveness of it?
Wait, hold on a second. 7 on nature.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say that again, Michael.
So when I shoot something with my blunderbuss, everything within 5 foot of the target must make a dex save or take damage, fire damage specifically.
I mean, it's big, but it's not like its neck is within 5 feet. Like it's not a different target. It's just that you're shooting a building. You hit it in a window. It doesn't mean that the door 5 feet over takes different damage. It's still the same creature.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so with a 7's not great. Well, look, here's the thing. Here's what you know. You've hunted a lot of stuff. You've seen a lot of weird things. And you know that while a lot of animals, terrestrial animals especially, seem to fear fire, a lot of the creatures of the astral sea, fire is everywhere out here. Magical fire, plasma, star stuff. And you think that it may be something that actually interests it or catches its attention, like a glowing anglerfish glow. That's things. And it dawns on you that there is a very broken, very wooden, derelict ship about 50 feet away from you, crashed against the other asteroid.
Say no bloody more! Right, if we're gonna catch a whale, we've gotta stop swinging the lead, ya bilge-sucking... Wait, hang on, someone suggested insult. Ya bilge-sucking scallywags! Thank you, OG Lava Kitten. We're gonna light up that ship! We're gonna draw the whale right to it! I don't have any fire spells, though. So...
well, you think if you shoot it in the right spot, and you were part of the crew that went over there to begin with, you know where plenty of other barrels of gunpowder, you know where there were... I mean, you think that if you could just shoot the damn thing enough with your magical cannons, something will probably catch on fire.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, great. I'm going to make another shot, I guess.
So this one you can take it'll take you an action to load and aim, and then your next action you'll be able to fire on it.
Yes. Can I ask a crew member?
Cannons are big things. They take multiple actions to be able to do.
Can I ask a crew member? You, boyo. I got a candle in me pocket, not a euphemism. Stick some of the wax in me ears, because I need to be alive to fire this cannon. Can I do that? Can I do it?
Make a persuasion check.
I'm going all honesty on this bitch.
I like it.
Because if I get hit by this whale, I'm done. Like, no one's gonna... I'm fine.
Yeah, let's
persuasion?
Let's see. Yeah, roll persuasion on a 10 or higher. There you go.
17. So I'm like, I'm
doing
doing this thing, and I just, like, the youngest lad near me. Don't question it, boy.
Yeah, and we'll say that this will, on the whale songs, this will give you advantage on your rolls. All right.
I advise anyone else to do the same if you've also got a candle in your pocket.
That takes us to the top of the order. The whale arcs and turns and is heading back towards the ship. It looks like it'll be there next round. So in this round, the sense of hopelessness and dread has worn off. Will, it is your turn.
All right. That being the case, and with Lockjaw yelling out that we need to get the other ship on fire or glowing, Will is going to take their movement to go. Are we within 60 feet of the other ship?
I believe the other ship is. Let me look for you real quick. If you stand right at the bow of your ship, there is a tiny little bit of the bow of the other ship. It's close, but that's the closest that you can get and still be within 60 feet is up at the bow of your ship.
Will is going to go to that spot.
Okay.
And drawing on powers that aren't normally the spells he casts, Will extends a hand. His eyes sort of go murky for a second, and they're gonna cast Fairy Fire on the other ship.
Nice. Yeah, these are the sort of
sure.
spells I didn't get. So I'm glad
So
someone did.
a 20-foot section of the other ship is outlined in glowing red that glitters and flickers.
That's beautiful.
Okay. Mechanically, what is your hope for that?
Mechanically, I'm hoping that it draws the whale towards that instead of
Okay.
at us.
Okay.
It is not
I get what
fire.
you're saying.
It is not fire,
Right.
but mechanically, it outlines something and gives other creatures advantage on attacking it.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Gotcha. I just wanted to double check that you weren't trying to use fairy fire to like ignite the other ship.
nope,
Which would not
just
have worked.
hoping
Okay.
that
Nice.
light like an
I like it.
anglerfish.
Nice. I love it. Is that action or bonus action?
That's action.
That's an action.
And doesn't really have any bonus actions to speak of. So
Okay. Ruin, that takes us to you. The sense of dread is gone. You can go at this other chain, or if you have something else that you want to do.
Loading whale songs. I'm just jam my spanner down in there and try and repeat the process to get this helm out.
Alrighty.
I almost
go
thought
for
you
it.
meant jam your spanner in your ears. It's like,
Strength check.
Let's see, and I'm using my second time of special ability
Okay.
on
Whew.
2. Welp, 7.
Oof. I mean, yeah,
have
the
inspiration.
spanner's in there. You've got it. It's
You have
working. It's just not quite as it's not quite as effective as the first time. So you're gonna have to keep working at it.
Can I
It's
use my
not what you're
inspiration?
doing. If you've got an inspiration as well, yeah.
I gave you one.
Yeah. Yep. And then refresher. Inspiration gives me.
Sorry.
You're
Let me.
level 4. It's a D6.
Sorry, I was looking at pirate insults on Google. I'm so sorry. Yeah, D6.
So 6 plus 7.
6 plus 7 will take you to. We'll get it for you.
Nice.
So that second chain, you start to work at it. It's not working quite as well. You can hear the insults in your head that Lockjaw would be yelling if you don't do this right, and you're like, I don't want to deal with it today. And you give that extra little oomph, and tink, it opens up the magic arcs as the chain is opened but not broken. There's one piece of chain that is left. Awesome. Lockridge, that takes us to you.
Do you mean?
Muted.
No. I'm here. I'm
Sorry.
I'm gazing
Into the void.
gazing into the void at this creature, going,
Oh,
I've got a gun. You know,
I'm
I mean,
pondering the orb.
I've changed my accent.
you're the only one that's heard it.
I scoused
To
it.
be fair.
He scared,
Hey, now.
scared me half away across the continent. He did. Alright, no. Because I rolled a 19 to hit him. I don't like that.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't like that. And then there's the glowing thing. And then we've dumped all of our stuff. And then he's 60 foot away, charging at us.
Yeah.
Ah, I'm gonna do something dumb. I'm gonna do something
I love
so
it.
dumb.
I love those words.
Alright, I'm going to ready an action. I'm going to take my grappling hook. And as he comes to land the bite, I want to jump off the ship onto the back of the whale from the front. And what I want to try and do here is I want to use my grappling hook to basically try and drop it around the side of his jaw, and then use all the strength I have to change his trajectory by like 2 or 3 degrees in order to have him like hit an asteroid or hit something instead of the ship. Now, I'm fairly confident that won't work. But that's my goal. Lockridge, however.
If you want a new character, you could just ask Ryan. I'm sure.
Right. This is so much more fun.
Yeah. At this point, you know, it's a mix of things as well, because the other half of it is it's a whale, and whales, they have blowholes.
Yep.
And the captain got eaten whole, as far as I could tell, and she might still be in there. And if I can walk on its back and get to the blowhole, maybe, just maybe, there might be an excavation that might happen. Now, these, again, all speculative. I'm fairly...
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry.
Do this for me. Make an insight check.
Very well. I got an 8.
This is the best plan you've ever
Best
had.
plan ever. Gonna do this thing.
All right. Sounds great. Fantastic.
Action
is ready.
I look at one of the... Okay, this is either going to be really cool or very dumb. But I'm going to go to one of the crewmen, and I'm going to literally pull out my hit flask, which is now, at this point, just filled with, like recycled rum, right? And I'm going to literally have a hold my beer moment and just hand it to him. and then pull out my grapple and try to jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not close to each other, are we? You can't give it to me, can you?
I know you guys are. You guys are in fact on opposite ends of the ship.
Damn, sorry. Yeah.
Nah, that's alright.
Well, you know, there's a crewman with some beer.
Nice.
I'll find him.
What
Sniff him out.
what Lockridge does not see as he's concentrating, so you know, taking this heroic, horrible moment very seriously. What Lockridge doesn't see, but the rest of the crew does see, is that crewman like kind of looks around and unscrews the thing, and like takes a sniff at it to see what kind of booze you have in there, and he just looks at his friend. And he's like, "I think that this is urine."
It's basically, yeah. It's mostly swung that way by now.
All right, you are readying that action for when it comes closer. Lockjaw, that takes us to you.
Okay, yeah, I've got my action held.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try and shoot something explosive on the other ship.
Absolutely. Make your dex check. Add 6 to it. It's going to be easy to hit.
Should I give inspiration to myself?
You can't, well, that would be your bonus action.
That would be my bonus action.
Hey, this thing, it seems like a good time to pull out all the stops. I'll tell you this, it's not going to be hard to hit the other ship, but the better you do, the higher AC you hit, the better the reaction of the area you hit is going to be.
Does Lockjaw have advantage from Fairy Fire?
You do have advantage from Fairy Fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right,
it's
maybe
a stretch,
I'll
I think,
save-
to say that you cover the entire ship, but why not in this moment? It's somewhere. We're somewhere between combat and cinematics, so sure.
Yeah. Okay, I might save my inspiration then for someone who needs it.
Okay. Yeah, you have advantage from the Fairy
all right,
Fire.
let's roll 2 dexes. Okay, one's a 22. I'll take that one.
22 plus 6.
Plus 6. Oh, yes. That's
So
28.
a 28. A 28 28. You gotta be kidding me. Wow.
Yeah, I imagine maybe that crew boy also, whilst he placed wax in my ears, also gave me a little shoulder rub. That's right. Yeah. Right in the scapula, boy.
Shoulder rub. Sure.
My scapula's lower.
That is
much lower.
That is almost a nearly impossible DC. So, as you
is my stupid plan gonna work?
Go to take aim, the candle wax crammed in your ears. You are looking at the side of the ship, and you see this porthole that you could just perfectly aim for, and you're there, and you're just about to pull the lever that does it, and you think back to a moment 10 years ago, at sitting in the docks at Davies Station. Captain Grawl was there. She was, a much younger woman at that point. She didn't have quite as many scars, didn't have quite as many astral miles on her. And you remember that as she got up to leave and you ordered another round, she said, you're one of the finest gunnery sergeants that's ever served with me. And I think if you could learn to control some of your vices sometimes, not all the time, you have the makings of a great XO someday. And in that moment, you have this beautiful little sobriety that comes over you. You swivel the cannon away from the porthole, remembering exactly a spot where there was a small keg of gunpowder for their much larger cannons. You pull you pull the lever, you hear the small magical spark go off inside. The bolt hits the side of the derelict ship. Wood splinters out and floats in space. Nothing happens. A small glow, and then a as the side of this ship just explodes outward in a 15-foot hole in the side of the ship, and the long dried dead ship, the canvas of one of its sails goes up in flames as an inferno just erupts on the other side of that ship. Well fucking done. 28. Yeah.
No need to hang the jib, me hearties. We're catching a whale.
Which, as that happens, as this explosion and this you don't really hear it. Oh no, you can hear it because you guys are sharing an air envelope, so there's air for sound waves to move through. You hear this deafening explosion, this bright flash of light. The fire goes up. It gleams off of the back of this giant nebula whale, and you see it shifts its course just ever so slightly to sort of avoid the shock wave, if you will, of what is happening, which means it does not seem that this one is going for a bite attack. Now, Lockridge, you were waiting specifically for a bite attack, so I'm going to say this. Based off of what just happened with the explosion, that opportunity will not present itself. However, if you want to try to quickly in the moment come up with something else to do with that chain and grappling hook, as its back and right fin is presented to you, not its mouth, I'll let you slightly modify your held action.
Okay, so if it's charging towards us and then turning away, could I do something as it's turning, as I see it sort of moving its flank?
It looks like it's going to dip below the ship again. So you've got sort of its neck, back, and shoulder of its fin area.
Now to clarify, we're centered on our own gravity field at the moment, right?
Yeah, your gravity field is sort of below your
Cool.
is in line with the bottom deck of your ship.
All
Yes.
right, I'm going to attach the grappling hook to the harpoon way anchor, the weight on the thing, like just the rope, and I'm going to try and use my harpoon to get a free ride.
Yeah.
All right. Roll an attack.
Okay, here we go. Come on, baby.
You got this, man.
Here we go. Alright. That is a 25.
That hits.
Yes.
Okay. So the roll damage. Roll the harpoon damage. It does do some damage.
Yep. That is. So that's the ranged one. Yep. Okay, there we go. That is 3 points of damage, which I am going to then use my astral spark to do an extra 2 damage because why not?
Well, you're throwing a harpoon, right?
Yes, but once per turn when I
The
hit.
astral spark has to do with your gun, doesn't it?
Nope. That's my that's me being that's my background.
Oh, I thought it was tied to your.
I'm
your
a wild spacer.
All right. So that's 20. So that's 3. You double it.
No, I just add 2. It's just a flat 2.
Oh, okay.
So that's 5
Nice.
damage.
I like that.
Okay.
Uh,
So there is now a harpoon stuck in its back, and you've got 120 feet of rope, of chain. Is it rope or chain? Which one did you grab?
chain.
So you've got 120 feet of chain, which means by the time it gets about to its next arc, you'll be at the very end of the chain. You can choose to go over and try to Fremen on the back of the sandworm ride this thing.
That's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm gonna attach
Yes.
it. I'm attaching it to the harpoon, which I imagine with like usually like mounted harpoons and stuff like that. There's like the cable, the winch, and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm kind of attaching it to. And ideally, I want us to go on a ride.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So just you, or have you attached the ship to the whale?
The second one.
Oh, interesting. Okay. When it gets to the end of its movement, that's when that line will go taut.
Let's go.
Okay. Sweet. So at the top of the next round,
Oh man, we get.
the whale closes, which is when this harpoon moment happens. It sort of bellows a little bit. It dives under the ship as it sort of avoids this explosion. And as it does so, sort of along the midships, it thrashes its tail at a group of the sailors that are on the deck that are working to help clear everything else out and all of that.
On our deck?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
So as it goes under, it flips its tail up.
Oh yeah.
So I believe a 31 hits. And
They died a warrior's death.
Dislodge the helm, dislodge the helm.
its tail is wide enough that the tail is actually able to target 2 creatures within 10 feet of each other. So that will be roll some damage.
I don't like this this at all. Yeah.
It's 8d8 plus 9, so 40 damage to each of the crewmen. So as the tail, so these crewmen are standing near the edge, the railing of the ship as they throw things off, and as the sort of barnacle encrusted, scarred, thick, blubbery tail of this thing lashes up, and you see it just pin the top half of these two crewmen between the tail and the railing. It slams into them. It causes the entire ship to shudder and shake, and just the lower half of these two crewmen remain, creating a thick crimson pool on the deck of the ship. And the whale continues to the whale, unable to stop, continues moving. That chain, the 120 feet of chain, will come taut at its turnaround, which happens at the top of the next round. That takes us to Will.
So that's not unconscious and dying. They are flat out dead.
Yeah.
They were both
smeared.
bisected. Yes.
They were used to paint the deck a new shade of brain.
Okay, we need to get stuff.
Will, with a little quick math in your head, you are down to 16 crew members, including all of the officers.
Including the officers. Fuck. Okay.
They've been cleaved to the brisket.
Right. We need to get the helm up and running. Will runs over to where Ruin is, sliding over next to him. All right, what can I do to help? And tapping him on the shoulder, guidance, if nothing else.
So there's your movement. Guidance is a bonus action?
Full action, unfortunately.
Full action. Okay, so moved. Guidance for bonus action, for your action. Perfect. Ruin, there is one chain left. You have guidance.
And what does guidance do?
It's an extra D4.
Extra D4? Perfect. Okay, so I've got one more fancy schmancy assist from my lucky spanner.
You did use the inspiration already too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So with the fancy schmancy,
there was a bad roll.
Got a 6, so then my guidance add D4.
Yeah.
Uh, 9.
The 9. So what you're doing is working, but it doesn't come loose. Alrighty. Lockridge, you have attached the chain. You steady yourself. About 10 feet from you, you see just a red mist of half of the crew, half of two crewmen, and the whale is essentially right below the ship now. What would you like to do?
I'd like to tell everyone to brace, and I will tell them to also bring in the solar sails, like the wings, so that we're somewhat more streamlined. We're now on a lower weight, and I'm going to sit in the kind of the rig that would be up for the harpoon, and I'm going to start reeling it in. Not so much to bring it closer to us, but to bring us closer to it.
So I mean, the harpoons for this one, you've got to attach to a chain. Like the harpoons aren't attached to any of the cannons. So essentially, if you start pulling the chain, that means now the first point of resistance for when this goes taut will be you.
Oh, I do want to attach it to the seat with the actual ship's cannons on it.
Yeah, you can start like looping it and wrapping it, making it a little more secure right around that big nebula ball that is the masthead of the ship. You can start doing that.
Okay, so there is no like tow line or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
You're not a whaling ship.
Very well. Then yes, I will tie it around the.
Nice. Make a dex check
Yeah.
to see how well this goes.
I can do that. That's something I can do. Take this. Dex check. That's a 21.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got it. In fact, we're going to say that you are going to mitigate some of the probable damage that the ship is going to take when that line goes taut from this massive thing. You've wrapped it and secured it in a way that you're going to sort of spread that sudden kinetic pull out along the keel instead of along the railing. So yeah, you do that masterfully well.
All right.
Very nice.
Yep. So
do you have a bonus action?
Bonus action. Only because I'm probably not going to use it later on. I'm going to sit there and just go and get a second wind.
Oh, second. All right.
And I heal 13 hit points, which brings me back to full.
Very nice. Lockjaw, that takes us to you.
Man.
The whale is essentially right below the ship now.
Yeah.
He's gone down under.
Yeah, but he could just pop right back up again. It's my concern.
True, he could try to break your keel in half. I hadn't thought about that.
Fuck. Damn it.
I had thought about that.
Shut up. Shut up, me. This is a dumb question, perhaps.
Oh.
Could Featherfall be used to lighten up the ship so we can go faster?
So I think Featherfall essentially targets a creature of large size. The ship is not a creature and is significantly larger than large.
Yeah, worth a
So
shot.
unfortunately, I like the cut of your jib.
Thank you.
But unfortunately, I'm going to say no.
Do I get an inspiration for jib cutting?
You get 1,000 Ryan bucks.
Yay!
Them fresh jib
but I
cuts,
can
yeah.
only
They are non-transferable.
non-transferable. Excellent.
They're non-fungible.
Oh no!
No,
They were not fungible
I don't want you to
this
use
whole
that phrase
time.
on someone else's channel.
Oh, they will be quite fungible, it turns out. I don't really think I can do much. It's below us. I'm
you might not be able to
thinking
do
I
much
might
to that.
just take a drink.
Will's gonna wave you over to the helm if you're not.
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you
the
lost.
helm, you can jump down from the quarterdeck. You can risk a couple of points of damage if you don't roll really well, and try to not break that last chain. You know that there's one chain left, and then
Yeah.
you still have to install the other chair.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. That's a lot. Question: is drinking an action?
Yes.
I think I have to take a drink because I'm on 5 HP. So dropping
Okay.
down, I might just not make it. I might just die.
You can 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You know what? From where you are, you can run halfway down the stairs, hop over the railing, and that gets you below 10 feet. So you're not gonna take damage.
Okay. All right. I still wouldn't be able to do anything though. Would that be my whole action?
No, that's just your movement. If you do
Oh,
not
okay.
drink,
Yep.
you can move and still try to help with that chain.
Yeah. All right. Let's do that. Otherwise, I
Okay.
was just gonna take a chug,
Um,
take a knee.
yeah, I mean, you can try to just brute force this and break it, or if you have some other way of trying to describe to me how you get the piece of broken chair off of the chain. It's brute force or other.
Would a thunder wave break it?
Would love to find out.
Let's do it. Let's give it a try.
Yeah, roll your Thunderwave.
'Cause I
Thunderwave
think
is a save.
Yeah. It's a con.
Save for
Okay,
half,
then
yeah.
the broken chair fails its save. And so narrate how you get Will and Ruin out of the way, and then how it is that Lockjaw casts Thunderwave. What does that look like?
Okay. So I think he's like looking at the ship exploding, knowing that the whale is gone below deck, knowing that it's only a matter of time before it tries to take us or split the ship right down the middle. He just kind of stumbles around, his frail body, like going as fast as he can, gripping onto the rails, sees that the chair needs a break in, and just like literally brings his arms out and just like gives a thunderous like few claps. Nice. And just like it kind of each clap kind of builds in like a rhythmic thing until it just unleashes
nice
a wave.
Yeah.
And he probably just says, "Get the hell out of my way."
Yeah, as you do your clap, the other crew that are around that are trying to like help move stuff out of the way and have the chair and pull the stuff out, they start clapping along rhythmically with you, and the entire back half of the ship you hear starts going northwest, 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 and this thunderwave erupts out, splintering the last piece of the chair. So the dais is now clear and ready to have the second chair hooked up and installed, which will know is more of an arcane than a strength-based type of thing to do. Well, all three of you there would know that, not just Will. Okay. That takes us... do you have a bonus action?
Me? No. I could give inspiration.
You can
give my last inspiration. Who needs it more?
Oh, that's up to you. You know that the chair getting installed is next.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Ruin doing arcane stuff. He's able to, but you haven't seen it. So Will's the only arcane person that you know other than you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Will and say,
right.
We have to start flying, or we're gonna start falling.
Okay. The whale reaches its turnaround point. It starts to arc to turn. The chain goes taut, pulling the entire northwest, the bow of the ship, scraping against the asteroid in front of it. Now, I am going to lower the damage rating because of Lockbridge's quick thinking and Michael's high roll with tying off that chain. So we're going to lower the damage rating from gargantuan to huge. So the front of the ship, the ship itself, will take... I don't like when it takes this long for the computer to calculate rolling the dice.
Neither do we.
Yeah, I think it's for the tension.
So the ship's hull takes 33 points of damage, almost 10% of the hull's strength, just over 10% of the entire hull's strength, as splinters and cracks form from the glass-contained nebula masthead, as splinters and cracks just spiderweb down the main keel and across the planks, but nothing goes flying off, and the entire ship violently jerks to port, and begins to be pulled. You are in fact underway. With the power of the Leviathan nebula whale now pulling you. It does mean that it will be closing with you head to head instead of broadside. But that's nothing for you to worry about until the top of next turn. Will, you're up.
Will looks at Ruin right next to him, and the new helmet needs to be installed. Alright, am I more use here or trying to distract it?
Considering we need you in this thing as soon as it's put in.
Alright. Here, help me with this, alright? And I'm going to hold my action so Ruin can give assistance on my Arcana roll on his turn.
I have a question for Nyx for Ruin.
Mm-hmm.
Does Will know? Because it seems like Ruin keeps it pretty unlocked. He gets, everybody thinks Ruin's just really good with a wrench. Does Will know that Ruin has spellcasting arcane powers?
Yes.
Okay. Tucker, for Will, make an insight check.
Well,
12 is fine. 12 is fine. If Ruin's arcane knowledge can install the ship, can install this, you can hold your action and immediately start to attune. Or you can help each other and have advantage on it. It's a gamble either way. But split-second decision.
At the end of the day, Will trusts himself more than Ruin, and giving Ruin a look that looks like an apology.
Okay.
Says,
Yeah, and Ruin, you have no idea why you're getting that look, but okay.
I'm gonna get this in. Get ready to sit in it.
Oh.
Wait, what?
The apology was that Will just outed you as a spellcaster.
Very interesting. Ruin, it is now your turn. After that...
Do I still need to make a roll to see if that worked?
Well,
I'm fine
so
with assuming that I installed it correctly. I'm not going to argue if you want to say
so
that's
you're waiting on... Well, here's the thing. If you're waiting for Ruin to help you, that means that Ruin's going to use his turn.
I'm not. That's what I was saying is
You're
I'll
trying to install it,
and he sits in it in his turn.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Dang.
So that is a 7. I've got inspiration from...
This guy.
Yep, which is a 5, which is a 16.
I do believe.
Is that enough?
Let me check my notes. 16. Yes. The chains, under their own magical power, jump up taut and connect themselves to the bottom of this hovering stone and metal chair. The runes, which you are used to seeing glow teal, glow a bright orange color as orange scintillating magic fills the cracks between the stone and the metal work. The metal glows like hot worked, forge worked iron, but it doesn't put off any heat. And the bottom of the chair ripples the air like the air above a campfire as this stone, and you can see it now. It's black basalt. So it's these octagonal basalt pillars and worked hot glowing iron that create this chair as it floats in the dais taut against the chains, fully installed and ready for a magic user to attune themselves to it.
And
He looks at you and says, looks at you apologetically and says, get ready to sit. Ruin, it's your turn.
oh,
The whale the whale is pulling you, but has now turned enough that the ship is moving forward, but the whale is now moving back towards you, so it will actually get to you sooner, because that's how that works.
Also, for what it's worth, as they activate the chair, there's again one of those split moments where Will almost looks carved out of wood or something. There's a moment of stillness and just texture flashes across his face. It's weird.
Aye, that is mighty weird. But I am near death and also quite drunk.
Alrighty. Ruin, it's your call. He said something to you. What do you
Son
do?
of a calf hound.
Oh, language, please.
Friggin' promotions. I'll sit in the chair.
Right. You sit in the chair. You feel. Has Ruin ever attuned to a spelljamming helm before?
A spelljamming helm specifically? No.
Okay. The pins and needles feeling when a limb goes to sleep starts to creep in right at the base, that little notch at the base of the skull and the spine. It spreads through the front of your face, down your neck, and limbs. It's weird and uncomfortable and tickling and hot and cold as a wave of pins and needles washes over your body. You feel the non-temperature of wild space press against the wood and metal of your hull. You can take a moment and you sense where Lockridge is, where Lana is, where Will is. You see Will, but then you also feel Will standing on the wooden planks of your deck. You feel the glowing ring of plasma that powers you as the ship. You feel the taut, crippling pain as this chain pulls the masthead. You feel and sense all these things while you also are looking at it in this strange, disorienting sense of double vision. The way that you would feel holding your hand that's asleep, but not feel your hand being held. And then, quietly, a voice you don't recognize sleepily says, what is this? This is not the Demeter. Northwest. My name's now Northwest. And you have control of the ship.
Chair's haunted.
You like whack it with a spanner. Yeah, look.
Uninstall it, throw it overboard. Yep, that one's broke.
Yeah, look. I can get the ghost out, but it's going to cost you extra.
You have very gross control over the movement of the ship, but with it being towed in the way that it is, you do not have enough fine movement. You can go fast, or you can stop, or you can go in reverse, but you do not have fine enough control to maneuver around this creature, especially being tethered to it.
Is there any way I can relay? Get rid of the line.
I mean, you can yell that, yes.
Yeah. Try and get
Okay.
the crew to untether us. And then
Make a
possibly
persuasion check real quick.
Woof. 30-20.
Dang.
30-20.
All right.
There is Lockridge. There are two crewmen. You see, you can glance over and you see this. You hear Ruin yell, "Get rid of the line!" And there are two crewmen who like look at you, and you're very imposing. But then they also look at the person who is sitting in the chair and giving orders, and you see something come over them, and they start to untangle the chain from. Because there's a little bit of slack to it now that the creature's charging you, and they start to untangle the chain.
So, just real quick, because the idea here was that, what's the turning circle like for this creature? Like, is it quite sharp?
It makes in terms of mechanics, it takes it around to turn around. The trajectory and logistics of what that looks like in zero G.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, not going too deep into it, but like if it's taut, I'm kind of hoping that we stay behind it so that even as it turns, we're following that same arc, so it actually can't get a bead on us while we are trailing it. So if
it is able to turn sharp enough that there will be a moment of slackness in the line,
and it'll come back down that way. Yep. Okay.
Turns around to try to charge you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much faster than it is our ship normally? If any.
You don't know. You've never seen this creature move at full speed. So you have no way of knowing.
Could I make an insight check based on roughly how fast it has been moving in and out? Like in terms of like its distance out, its distance back in within the span of like say 6 seconds versus what we've done.
Its speed and maneuverability is greater than what your ship is able to do.
All right, I will. Yeah, Lockridge will then say. Oh wait, I forgot my accent. All right, South African. All right, there we go. All right, I say belay that unless you want to get eaten. This creature's going to be well and truly on top of us. What we need to do is get up behind it and get rid of it.
Make an opposing persuasion check.
All right, very well. Can I make that an intimidate check? If I say, if you touch that line, I'll break your legs.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. That is a 19.
This is all happening very fast. 19's less than a 20. They look at you. They look clearly scared, and they continue to untangle the rope, the chain.
I will. Okay. Well, I mean, if this is still my turn, then I will clobber them.
You can make an attack.
Holy shit! Well,
I'm going to make a non-lethal attack. I'm not trying to.
Okay, it won't kill him, but you still got to roll. I mean, you got to roll.
Yeah. I know. I just want to make it clear that there's no like intent of like. I'm sorry, old yeller. But these guys are like weak and starving and like barely functional. So I am a hippo.
And you've been stealing food the whole time. So
I have been. So that's an 11.
11 hilariously enough does not hit.
What? All right.
It doesn't hit an armor class of 13.
Very well. Yeah.
Maybe they just really want to.
Here's what I'll say: you slam the butt of your rifle down, like splintering the railing, like right next to one of their heads, and they stop for a second. And they look at you and they say, "Sir, I think the new captain. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, sir."
The new what? Doing it. Yeah, I'm just gonna enrage.
And with the new what, and with the yelling of a new what, Lockjaw, that's your turn.
Well, a good thing I can't hear. So, the helm is up and running.
The ship has power.
Yeah, we are moving. And
You're moving because you're being dragged. Yes.
yeah. I guess maybe I'd turn to Will. This thing killed the captain. Are you sure we need to cut it loose?
It killed the captain. It's going to kill us next.
Mm.
You can't get revenge if you're dead, Lockjaw. Let's go.
Cut that line! I'm happy for us to fire off shots.
Can Lockridge say something?
You can yell something back.
All right, yeah. So Lockridge will say, if we cut this... no, I keep forgetting my accent. All right. If we cut this line, then this creature's just going to come up behind us while we're limping like a bloody astral sea slug. We are not faster than it, and it will destroy us. If we can get up behind it, it can't reach us. It's turning circles too hard.
Ah, damn it.
It's absolutely beautiful. I'm just gonna push us to try to remember in that 6 seconds.
Yep.
I love what's happening. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I think Lockridge is right. We gotta close the distance. Fuck, is there any way we can charge forward?
You can tell Ruin.
Ruin, I'm first mate. Close that gap. I guess I intimidate?
Okay.
Or persuade?
I mean, you can roll and intimidate if you want to, or it's an order. You are Ruin's superior officer, regardless of what two random crew member 50 feet away think.
Yeah. I think it is good to stay behind it. Yeah. Should I try persuasion? Is it worth it?
It's up to you.
What kind of captain would you like to be?
Well, okay, let's say this. Nix, how does Ruin react whenever given the order full speed ahead?
That's what we were going for.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. We'll say Ruin nods at you.
That's all that needs to be done.
Okay. With that,
God, that's stressful.
the whale gives a great push of its tail, and lowers its head, presenting the spiny, bulbous, hard ridge of what you would assume would be essentially of its spine. You can see that it's scarred with scrapes and long scrapes. This thing's spine is a shipbreaker. It pushes hard. The top of its spine lightly scratches the bottom keel of the Northwest lengthwise as you've now turned to face it, as it dives slightly under you. It moves past the Northwest, the chain going taut and breaking under its own tension as the whale crashes into the now fully engulfed, brightly glowing, burning Demeter. The whale spins and thrashes. You can hear the whale song, but far enough away to not be affected by it. Its tail comes down hard, breaking the bow, breaking the mainsail of the Demeter. And as you see the whale turn vertically and then fall, its spine first, snapping the Demeter in half. As it rolls and writhes, seeming to, in equal parts, devour any of the dead floating crew, the helpless space whales, and just revel in the destruction of this other ship. The Northwest, under the power of Ruin, full speed ahead, the order he was given, has passed into the astral sea proper. After a few minutes at full speed, you can barely see a flickering glow of the fire of that ship, and the whale song of the nebula whale has faded into a chilling, haunting memory. The ship is yours.
Whew.
As the crew gathers on top of the deck, you see Villia, the mangled, the shipmate that lost his leg and has this beautiful metal leg that was crafted by Ruin. You see Villia, tears in his eyes, pushes into the captain's cabin, comes out and is holding her rapier and her coat and respectfully lays it down on the deck. And Villia looks up at the crew and the officers and says, well, I guess it's time for us to figure out who it is that's in charge.
I think it's best we honor our dead first.
You hear murmurs of, about half of the crews. It's what she would have wanted. Only
You're damn right she would have wanted that.
Half of the other crew is, we're supposed to be following.
To be fair, I'd agree with you as well, but, unless you checked the two of the people who are among our dead are not only the captain, but also the person who would perform last rites.
How hard is it? We say something nice. We feel the sorrow in our bones. We stare into the abyss of space, and we know that we are blessed to go on a little bit further than those we lost. I think that's something we can do on our own.
As you say that, there's a number of crewmen who have taken their bandanas and their hats off. A crew member from below brings up a small little wooden chest, and you see sets it down just on the deck, and sort of looks around, and a handful of crewmen sort of go into their boot or into a pocket on the inside lining, and a couple of silver, a couple of copper pieces are tossed into the box. 1/3 of the traditional offering for those lost at sea, lost in the wild space of gold, food, and drink. The crew seems to have thrown money in.
Well, we're freshly restocked, so will go and, since, at least for now still, his official job is keeping track of that kind of stuff, I think. We'll put some food and a small flask of water in as well.
Okay, when you go below deck, Lana, the large Drider woman in pastel, brightly colored tunic and vest, looks at you and says, "What is it? What happened? I heard the crashes."
We're alive. There was a creature, not sure what it's called, large whale-like thing. We lost 3, including the captain.
She sort of gasps. No.
So, we're trying to figure out what's next, but first step is rights, or goodbyes at least.
She starts to take the let's say like it's a little basket of like bread and fruit that you had found. She starts to try to take it from you.
Will doesn't fight.
Okay. And she gets to the stairs. She's too big to leave. But when you get to the stairs, you see her. She has a necklace, and she grasps the necklace around her neck, and you see she polymorphs into a chimpanzee, and is able to get on deck. So those of you above deck see this giant Drider woman get halfway up the stairs, get stuck, polymorph, and then she places the basket of bread and fruit into the box as well. Lockjaw.
Yes.
Make a will save for me.
Okay.
We're calling it a will save. Wisdom.
Yeah, okay. That's a 7.
Okay. I will say this. You make your own decisions. You served with her for years. You had this idea of how to escape, and ultimately it's what saved you all. And in the moments right before you aimed wrong, the memory of the first time Captain Grawl told you that if you could just put down the bottle every once in a while, you would make a great XO. And whether you plan on continuing to be an XO or try to step up into this seat left vacant, the flask that you find so much comfort in feels a little cold and empty. Not physically empty, but emotionally empty in your hands for the first time in 10, 15 years. You do know that a drink of some kind traditionally is put in this box. That crosses your mind, but you make whatever decision you want. You can tell that Will has a small thing of water that if you do nothing, he's going to be putting in that box.
You know, I got this flask from the captain herself. She said if I was going to be swigging it constantly, I might as well not waste the glass. She's a damn good captain. And, I don't know where she's going, but I'm sure she could use a drink. And I, placed the flask amongst her coat.
Very nice. Very nice. The 3 traditional things that are left with any sailor buried in space. In the box, you see Villia walks over, hoists the box to the edge, and tosses it, and it floats away in the weightlessness of the astral sea. Now properly in the astral sea, travel is done by Will alone. Not Will, Tucker's character. Will. A person's will.
Well, where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. A person's will drives where you go. You think of a specific location, and that's what gets you there. As we move forward, just so that we all know what's going on, the overall will of the ship will help to determine where it is that you're going. So if morale slips, or if the crew does not trust whomever it is that is chosen to be the new captain, which we'll find out next week, traveling will get more difficult, because that's how travel works in the astral sea. A couple things happen over the next few hours. Sorry, guys, just 1 second. A couple of things do happen over the next few hours. No decision about the captain gets made right away. But as everything sort of gets sorted and whatnot, the funeral for the 2 crewmen that were also killed, besides the captain, happens later after the captain. In one of the boxes that is being gone through, Lockjaw, you find the boxes from the other ship of rations and supplies. You find a staff, a small rod about 12 inches long. And as you hold it, you feel the rod itself, its power and its essence sort of bind to you. It is a attunement as you sit and hold it for a little while. And what you have in your hand, it's magic, but it's also technology that you're not familiar with. You know that this is known as the medical staff, an alien rod, 10 inches long, made of a strange material that resembles bone. The top of the rod is decorated with a winged serpent, and it emits a slight hum and buzzing sensation when held. Now, if you choose to keep this or you give it to somebody else, essentially what you're able to do is you can give up, whoever is attuned to this, you can give up to your max number of hit dice and roll those and store them as healing charges in the wand. So if you have 3d10 hit dice, you can in the morning roll 3d10. Let's say you max it out at 30. You can store 30 healing charges, 30 points of hit points in this staff to be used on anybody, divvied up however you want throughout the day. If you take a short rest, you do not get to roll your hit dice, though. So you're giving up your hit dice as potential healing later.
Right.
And that is a gift from one of the channel donations.
Yeah.
Ruin, you also in your bunk find a folded leather apron with handwriting, a handwritten note that says, "You gave me back my leg. It was the least that I could do." And this magic apron that you attune to, it gives you protection and saves against any traps or magical explosions that go off around you.
Nice.
Most interestingly, Will finds a set of papers and a crate full of metal mechanical pieces and arcane glowing crystals. After dinner, when all of the officers are talking about, I'm assuming where we pick up next time, talking about who will be the next captain, Will, you feel compelled to tell what this is. The strange writings combining Dwarvish and gnomish and celestial language are for a device that are called in the paperwork an astral beacon. Travel in the astral sea is difficult because it's not a real space. You think about something and you go there in the most direct path. So charting a path through the astral sea is very difficult. But by constructing these astral beacons, you can place them in the astral sea and they will stay stationary, something that's incredibly difficult to do. By placing enough of them and then charting them on maps, you can create a direct, safe, constant passage through the astral sea, something that has never been done before. What you decide to do with that information and
right now,
who go ahead, Tucker.
I was just going to say, right now I'm just really glad I picked up comprehend languages because I do not speak any of those 3 languages you listed.
There's other people that do. So what you decide to do with the astral beacons, how you use them, and what you do about this captainless situation that you find yourselves in, we will find out next time when we come up.